When you think of getting stronger, stretching probably isn't the first thing that comes to mind. In fact, most people see stretching as something you do after a workout to cool down, or maybe something yoga enthusiasts obsess over. But what if I told you that stretching might actually be one of the most overlooked tools for building serious strength? Today, we're diving deep into the surprising science behind stretching and strength. And by the end of this video, you might completely change how you approach your training. Let's start with what most people think they know about stretching. The common belief is that stretching makes your muscles longer and more flexible, which sounds like the opposite of what you'd want for strength. After all, strength training is about making muscles bigger and more powerful, right? Well, this black and white thinking is exactly where most people go wrong. Here's the thing that might blow your mind. Your muscles are constantly fighting against themselves. Even when you're trying to contract a muscle as hard as possible, opposing muscles are creating resistance. It's like trying to drive with the handbrake on. This is called reciprocal inhibition, and it's one reason why stretching can actually unlock hidden strength you already possess. If your hip flexors are tight, they're constantly sending signals that limit how powerfully your glutes can fire. When you stretch those hip flexors, you're not just making them longer, you're turning down the volume on that interference. Suddenly, your glutes can contract more fully, and boom, you're stronger without adding a single pound of muscle. Recent research has revealed something that completely challenges everything we thought we knew about stretching. Scientists have discovered that when you stretch a muscle under tension, particularly through its full range of motion, you can actually trigger muscle growth. This isn't your grandma's gentle stretching routine we're talking about. The key is something called mechano tension. When you stretch a muscle while it's working against resistance, you create a unique type of stress that signals your body to build more muscle tissue. It's like getting the benefits of both strength training and flexibility work at the same time. Some studies have even shown that this type of stretched position training can produce similar muscle growth to traditional strength training methods. Now, before you throw away all your weights and start doing nothing but stretches, let's talk about how this actually works in practice. The most effective approach combines traditional strength training with what researchers call lengthened partials. This means emphasizing the stretched portion of an exercise, spending more time in that position where the muscle is longest. For example, instead of just doing regular bicep curls, you might pause at the bottom of each rep where your bicep is most stretched. Or with chest exercises, you could focus on getting a deep stretch at the bottom of each movement and holding it briefly. This isn't about replacing your normal training, it's about enhancing it. The neurological benefits are equally fascinating. When you improve your flexibility through stretching, you're essentially teaching your nervous system to allow greater ranges of motion. This means you can access strength in positions you previously couldn't reach. A deeper squat, a fuller overhead press, a more complete deadlift, all of these become possible when your body isn't fighting against tight muscles. Here's where it gets really interesting for practical application. Many people struggle with strength plateaus not because they lack muscle, but because they lack the mobility to express that strength effectively. A powerlifter with tight ankles might never hit their squat potential. A bench presser with restricted shoulder mobility might never achieve their maximum press. Stretching becomes a tool for unlocking strength that's already there. The timing of stretching also matters more than most people realize. While static stretching before lifting can temporarily reduce power output, dynamic stretching and mobility work can actually enhance performance. The key is understanding when and how to apply different stretching methods for maximum benefit. But here's something most fitness content never tells you. The psychological aspect of flexibility training can be just as important as the physical benefits. When you feel more mobile and less restricted in your movements, your confidence in handling heavier weights often increases. You move with more freedom, less hesitation, and greater body awareness. The research on eccentric training, where muscles lengthen under tension, shows some of the most impressive strength gains in laboratory studies. This is essentially what happens when you emphasize the stretched portion of exercises. You're training your muscles to be strong in their most vulnerable position, which translates to greater overall strength capacity. So can stretching make you stronger? The answer is a definitive yes, but with important nuances. It's not about choosing between stretching and traditional strength training. It's about intelligently combining both approaches. Stretching removes the handbrakes that limit your strength expression while potentially triggering additional muscle growth when done correctly. The next time you're in the gym, try spending a few extra seconds in the stretched position of your exercises. Pay attention to how your body feels and moves. You might just discover that the path to getting stronger isn't always about lifting heavier weights. Sometimes it's about teaching your body to use the strength it already has more effectively.